Hello all. Been a couple of days since I've done a video, and I have highlights Saturday. My hair is not looking the best today. Cut it a little bit more, and I had the wedding Saturday. Took all of Sunday to recover. All I had to drink was the champagne toast. Oh, that's it. But after the reception, we went to the after party, which was at a local bar. And then after the after party, my daughter and her boyfriend, my nephew / godson, and his girlfriend wanted food. We got in the line for Taco Bell. Well, that line was not moving. So we got out of the line, went to go buy McDonald's, closed. So we ended up at Wawa. And I got Wawa pizza. And I thought, my nephew said, oh, it's a personal size. I was like, okay. Not really what I wanted, but I was a little hungry because all I had was an English muffin and then the food at the reception. So, okay. The food was delicious, but I'm like, are you kidding me? So, I was a little hungry. It was a regular size pizza, 14-inch. Okay. I had one piece, and then went in the fridge. It went, and I've been eating it every night since. So I think it's done though. I just can't eat anymore. Had mushrooms and onions. It was very good. They said, oh, you want garlic on the crust? I'm like, oh yeah. Well, everybody, as soon as we got in the car, like, oh my God, all I can smell is garlic. So yes. Unsweetened iced tea. So yeah, all I had, you know, all we could smell was the garlic. And they got so much food. Oh my Lord. I don't know how they ate so much, but I guess they were drinking, so doing shots. So Sunday, I slept on and off in between, you know, taking care of the dog and everything. My daughter and her boyfriend got up early and left. So that was nice that I didn't have to entertain. I thought I was going to have to get up and like, oh, sure, let's go get something to eat. But no, they left early, so I was glad for that. Then, I went to work yesterday. Then I went for my scope thing up my nose. Oh my gosh. They stick these like long kind of Q-tips. There's like a Q-tip with a long stick. You know, just a Q-tip on one end. And they dip them in this stuff and then they stick them up your nose and you got to keep them there for 15 minutes. Oh my God, it was gross because I could like I could taste it when I swallowed. It was gross, and I couldn't have anything for an hour after the test. I was like, frig. I guess they're afraid you're gonna choke or something, you know, who knows. But it turns out I have a crooked septum. So, not a deviated septum, but a crooked. It's kind of like a slight swiggle, very slight, is what she showed me. And what's happening, sorry, first yawn, is my sinuses are, when they get inflamed, they are pushing against the septum, like on this side and on this side, you know, because where it's slightly sticking out on each side, and then nothing can get down, and that's where I'm getting sinus infections, constant sinus infections. So to do a neti pot, but if I feel it coming on like sinuses, I can't do the neti pot because I'm going to squirt that water up in there. It's going to sit there. Okay, makes sense. But how do I know when they're inflamed and they're not inflamed? So I'm hoping the neti pot. Oh, actually, she gave me a sample one. She gave me two, actually. This is the neti pot she gave me. So I had one that was actually looked like a little teapot, but beggars can't be choosers. So that's what I get. So, what are you gonna do? Boy, try not to yawn. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I'm still catching up from Saturday because I was up very early, went and got my hair done, was there until like 1 o'clock. Wedding was at 3, ran home. I mean, I showered and everything before I went for my hair, and went and from there ran home. The dress I was going to wear, it like gathers on the side, and it just gathered around my ass, and I was like, oh God, no. So I wore this other dress that I had worn to my niece's wedding. It was very pretty. It had thicker straps, and like no sleeves, and it down, and it had a rhinestone pin here, so it was nice, very, very nice. And I wore this bolero little crochet jacket over it. Everybody told me how great I looked, so that woman was like, as I went to turn, she sped up and was like, yeah, no, you shouldn't have turned, I'm gonna get you, whatever, lady. But yeah, so bride was beautiful, of course. Known her forever. She calls me mama, and she is just the cutest little thing, and she is a little thing, and she looked gorgeous. She had like a mermaid style with a, not a long train, but just enough, and oh my God, gorgeous, gorgeous, all beaded. It was just beautiful, beautiful. I gotta go to the dry cleaners, and it looks like there is like no spots to be found. Oh, someone just pulled out here. Yay. Sorry, Charlie. I think that guy was gonna try to get it. Oh well. Sorry. But yeah. Ooh. Sorry. So because of this, I guess I'm not sleeping good. They gave me a nasal spray. They also gave me an inhaler, which I'm not going to take because it has so many, like a daily inhaler, it has so many side effects. And it's like, if you have this, if you have this, if you have this, if you have that, and I'm like, I have, like, could have all those things. So, affects your liver. And as you know, I'm not tempting fate with the liver. And, yeah, I just, no way. No freaking way. So, yeah. And then, from there, today, I had my therapy appointment at 4:30, not 5 or 5:30. So I like 5:30 because then I can get home, walk the dog, and then get comfortable, and then do my therapy session. But she has someone she doesn't see that often, like every 6 to 8 weeks, and 4:30 works for them. She made it a long time ago for the 5:30, so I was like, all right. So, what is this lady doing? She's not even near the exit. She's staying far back. She just put her seatbelt on. It's like the first thing I do when I get in the car. So, but I'm very tired still. Very. And I'm very sorry that I'm yawning. I've been yawning a lot. It sucks getting old. So, oh, get this. So, cruise guy reaches out to me, which I took him out of my phone, and he said, hey, we haven't talked in a while. Then he sent another text, leaving on an Alaskan cruise tomorrow. So I kind of knew who it was. So I'm like, I'm sorry, who is this? And he says his name, and I looked up on his Facebook, and he has a picture posted, spent the weekend with, and she's like, has them as her profile picture, and another picture on a cruise. So did he go on this cruise with her, meet her on this cruise? I don't know, because January and February and March he went on cruises. So, or was it just January and February? Not sure. So I'm like, okay. So he said, you know, so I said, I screenshotted the picture, and I said, oh, this Dave? And did not answer me, because it's a picture of him and her. So then that was Sunday night. So Monday, I sent him a text mid-morning, and I said, if you're in a committed relationship, why would you send me a text? No reply. And he actually didn't leave for his cruise yesterday. He left today. So I don't expect to hear back from him. And Alaskan cruise, what, 10, 14 days? So I'll give him a chance to think about it on his vacation, his answer, just because I'm curious what he would say. And so I'm going to give it like 16 days, just in case this Alaskan cruise is 14 days. And then I am going to block him. So then you can't reach out again. And I'm assuming the last time I heard him was, oh, maybe it was February, March, his cruise. I don't remember. I lost track. But no, I think it was January, February. Yeah, there was 2 weeks in between the one cruise. And I didn't hear from him after the first cruise. So I'm wondering if he met her on the first cruise. And that's why I didn't hear from him. And that's what I said to my friend. I was like, maybe you met someone on the cruise. But at least say, hey, you know, I'm back, but, you know, I met someone on the cruise. Okay. And when he said, oh, flying out from Philly to Seattle, whatever, and she goes, oh, have a safe flight and trip, babe. And I'm like, that's a committed relationship. And how are you reaching out to me? So if he does happen to answer me, I'm going to say, well, you're lucky I'm a nice person, because I could easily reach out to her and send her a screenshot of the text that you sent me. So, like, what the heck? And all the other texts you sent me. So, whatever, dude. Like, I don't get these men. Why are you reaching out to me when you're in a relationship. I spent a great weekend with and tagged her. And then you're reaching out to me. So was it really not a great weekend? Was it? Wasn't it? Crazy. Crazy men. So next week, not this weekend, next weekend, another busy weekend. The 4th is my granddaughter's dance recital, which I cannot wait. Then we're going out to eat. Then from there, I have my Talk Derby to me, play on Kentucky Derby. And then the 5th, I have to be up and at the park by 7 to get picnic tables for our family thing. We're having a reunion thing between my grandmother's side, her sister's children and grandchildren, and she had another sister, but she died. She had a brother, he's passed away, and one daughter is MIA, and the other daughter wants, really, is too snobby to even bother with us. So, but that's that. So, nothing on the POF front. No one's really written to me except scammers. And that's kind of annoying. Because I was like, I thought I talked to this guy. Then he's like, hey, all this stuff. And then I'm like, I don't come on here that often. Please share your he didn't say email address. The way he said it, though. And maybe we can exchange mobile numbers. Listen, you don't say mobile in this country. So, you say cell phone number. So, right there. And just the way he was talking, his English was not very well. So, you can tell the scammer. But, all right. I need to get to my chore. And get my boss's dress in the dry cleaner, and then I have to go to the fishery. So, alrighty. But I hope everybody's having a good week. It's Tuesday. I was thinking it was Wednesday. Tuesday. So, and nothing new on the baby front. Oh my God, this is heartbreaking. My daughter was like kind of crying at the wedding at the table. And I went and sat down, and she was trying to hide it. And her and her boyfriend were talking, so I'm like, oh, I hope they're not having a fight. But then, you know, he's like rubbing his leg, but I'm like, he could try to be, and she didn't push it away. So I'm like, no, they can't be having a fight. And then, you know, I moved over, and I was like, and then I said, you know, did Jake is she all right? And he's like, made up something. And then I went in the bathroom, and she's in there, and I was like, are you okay? She's like, I'm fine, it's okay. Come to find out, she found out, good friend of hers, who I know her well too, they went to our church, so we've known them a long time. And I watched her grow up. And her sister-in-law was having a girl, and she has all nephews. And so my son, they're having a boy. So they kind of were like, oh my gosh, you know, you're going to be a first time, you know, girl aunt, and I'm going to be a first time boy aunt. And it's, you know, 2 weeks apart due and everything. And she called me to tell me that the baby was born, stillborn. I could cry right now. Tried not to. I cried so much. And her sister-in-law's a NIC unit nurse. So that must be horrible. So she's seen many babies die, but it is way different when it's your own. And they haven't really shared with anybody, but she told my daughter, of course she can share with me, my son, because we're very close. It's devastating. Devastating. I mean, you've gone all that way. She had a sprinkle for her, so she had all girl stuff. The room was all decorated girl. And even when they have another one, another child could never, like someone, you know, when something else happened to someone, they're like, oh, you think they'll have another one right away? You think they'll use the same name? And it's like, are you kidding me? That was that child. In my eyes, anyway, the child that I lost, we were going to call Amber Nicole. And we didn't have a boy's name. And it was 16 weeks. So I did not go through what she went through. Delivering the baby. And it was, you know, stillborn. I can't even imagine that. And, but we had a girl's name picked out, not a boy's name. So in my head, thinking that was a girl. So then when I was pregnant, you know, with my son, I didn't know it was a boy. We had right away picked out a boy's name. We didn't have a girl's name because my ex couldn't get it through his head. He's like, well, yeah, we have a girl's name, Amber Nicole. I'm like, no, that name has been used. That's done, over. You know, to me, that was that child that I was pregnant with that I lost. Whether, you know, it doesn't matter that it didn't go full term. It was I was 16 weeks. So, no. So, he didn't get that. And I don't know. I'd love to hear feedback because you know, men and women, because, you know, men sometimes have a different view. And sometimes women have a different view than other women. Every person I've talked to, like every woman, I should say, really haven't discussed it with men, my men friends. But yeah, so that's kind of, really depressing. That was my daughter didn't want to say anything at the wedding, and she had to collect herself. That's why she went in the bathroom, and she actually was talking with my son's girlfriend who's pregnant, and my other friend who I confided in her. She don't know any of these people, and so I know she wouldn't say anything to anybody, but she was like, oh, don't let her tell. And I was like, oh, that's who she confided in at the wedding. She's like, oh my God, she's probably freaking out. And actually no, because they haven't had the closest like relationship. Sometimes they're close and then they're not, and they're close and then they're not, and overall not. I think she was glad that she went to, I know she was glad. My daughter said she was like, oh, I'm so glad you confided in me, and, you know, and told me. And she didn't mean to tell her. My daughter's in the bathroom crying, from what I understand, and my son's girlfriend came out of the stall, and then she saw her, and she, you know, decided to tell her and talk to her. So, yeah, so it's a little tough, because now we're going to have the boy, and, you know, there's not a girl on that side. And so that's it's a lot tough. It's a lot tough. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So, all right, well, that's my week so far. Some exciting, you know, wedding was great, and had a great time and everything. Now I'm getting stuffy. But I'm not supposed to use this neti pot, I guess, when I'm stuffy. I don't know. To me, the neti pot cleans things out. I'm just so confused. But very, very last resort is surgery. So, oh, and look at, I think I showed you these. This is, and now another nail. So I think I'm going to have to do it this Saturday, my nails, which I really don't want to, because I have the cleaning person coming. Maybe I'll do it Friday night. I don't know. I'm supposed to have the girls coming over to do the onesie. Sorry, I was crying a little bit. You couldn't see behind the glass. This Manuna glass is $8.92 on Amazon, of course. Where else? So, all right, I better get moving. And this is kind of my lunch. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.